Hi friends, welcome to HR Shorts with Atulya. Today's video is specially for folks who have reached out to me very recently. Some of my followers who actually told me that there are a lot of videos that we have posted about different areas in HR, different disciplines within HR, but one area that you have not spoken about is talent management. So this video is specially for folks who reached out to me, my followers who actually requested me that the placement season is going on and we really want to prepare on all the topics with respect to HR. So could you please post a video on talent management? So here it is today for you. And the topic that we are going to cover is talent management. Now the interesting part about HR is that there is somebody who has to be an employee, who basically joins the organization, who goes through the entire employee life cycle. But at the same time, it is an important piece for that employee to have continuity and career in the organization. Whereas for business, what is important is that people should perform to their full potential. And what's in it for the organization when you talk about talent management? The organization is actually looking at a process which basically helps the company to identify as to who is highly talented in the organization, somebody who is delivering strong results for the company, and how do we really make disproportionate investment so that the business can deliver its results, right? So talent management, there's of course an interest that the company has when it invests in their employees. So this entire process of identifying who actually is a high potential or a high performer is something that falls within the purview of talent management. Two very confusing terms that I used, performance and potential. And there is a clear difference between the two. Performance is the results which you deliver every day for the company, right? Every organization has an appraisal process. We are all part of that appraisal process. Every organization has a very clear definition of KPIs is what we call it, the key performance indicators, which basically talk about that entire year in which you are able to deliver certain 4 or 5 key objectives which are important for your role, your function and for your business. And if you deliver exceptional results, you become a high performer. If you deliver, there is a different rating mechanism, right? So depending on what kind of results, superior results, average results, poor results, there's a rating mechanism which every company has to assess the performance. So performance is for today. Performance is what you deliver today for what objectives you set up for yourself. Whereas potential is something that you're capable of doing. Potential is always not only the present but also the future. So companies typically want to look at the combination of both performance and potential to really define the whole process of talent management. And it becomes an important input for the company to really have what we call succession planning in the company, or to provide a long-term career or invest in people in the company. So it's a very systematic process and companies actually invest a lot of time in doing that. Leadership has a personal interest in this because each company wants to ensure that talented people have a long-term career, we are able to give them exposure and at the same time deliver business results for the company. Now coming back to potential. Potential is the second piece in the puzzle that we talk about talent management. And potential, in simple terms, is a combination of 3 things. First one is drive for success. So how much hunger for success do you have in the role that you're doing, or how much hunger for success do you have in general in your personality, which basically enables you to take on future leadership roles or future differentiated development roles. The second part of potential is actually emotional intelligence. Now this is an interesting one. So emotional intelligence, simple terms, self-awareness, awareness of people around you, how do you control your emotions. In simplistic terms, how's your conduct in terms of your behaviors, right? What kind of emotional maturity do you exhibit to take on senior roles or take on differentiated assignments. The third portion is actually about learning agility. How quickly can you learn things? How quickly can you adapt yourself to a changing situations? How quickly do you bring in agility to learn different things, as I called it out right now? In simplistic terms, what we also hear is something called growth mindset these days, and that has a very strong linkage with your learning agility. So, repeating once again, drive for success, emotional intelligence, learning agility. These three parameters get assessed by most of the organizations to really say or really define if somebody is really a high potential, medium potential, or a low potential. And why this becomes important is because it's a very important input in the entire talent management metrics, what we call a 9-box grid. We are not going to talk that in detail a lot, but imagine it as a situation that somebody who is a high performer, somebody who is a consistently high performer who gets very high ratings, is able to produce exceptional results year on year, plus at the same time is highly emotionally intelligent, has huge hunger for success, can perform very well in different assignments that the person takes up in different situations, in different business situations, in different geographies, in different cultures, is able to learn fast, is a true definition of a high performer and high potential. So once this entire process is actually completed on an annual basis by an organization, typically what you come out with is a list of folks who potentially are high performers and high potential folks, right? And of course there are different categorization of employees basis the kind of results which they produce and the kind of potential they exhibit. This whole process of assessing potential could be a combination of psychometric tools. It could be a combination of discussion with the manager, skip manager, or the senior leadership. But whatever the process is, it's a pretty objective process to really arrive at saying that, hey, these are the people where we want to differentially invest in the company. And talent management becomes a very important input for the organization to do succession planning. So typically a high potential or a high performer would get most of the meteor assignments, most of the challenging assignments. The company would be differentially investing in them to get exposure to different changing business scenarios or put them in critical assignments. So they become employees who are actually your leadership pipeline for the future. So a lot of jargons today, trying to simplify it for you as much as possible. Talent management in simplistic terms is how do we use performance and potential, the combination of both these elements, to really arrive at saying that, hey, these are the folks where we want to invest differentially and build a solid leadership pipeline or succession planning for the company. It's an evolved process. It takes a lot of maturity. Companies who get it right are the ones who stand out. So very clearly, it's a very important bread and butter process for any HR professional. In simplistic terms, it's a strategic process. It has to happen on an annual basis, and very nicely put by somebody that performance can change depending on the results that you perform. Potential takes time to change. So how do you go about it? You really have to invest in yourself, take a lot of feedback. To build potential, the starting point is to know your blind spots, to take feedback from the right people, to work on areas that you want to, you really like, and invest in your own development. So my best wishes on this journey. And talent management is a journey. It's something which happens on an ongoing basis. It's a very critical process for the organizations. And I hope in simplistic terms you understand what it means. And my best wishes. And stay tuned to my channel. I'll be coming out with more and more videos. And look forward to having more connections with you going forward. And do subscribe to my channel HR Shorts with Atulya, where I'll be coming out with a very interesting topic next time, which is of interest to all the students, young HR professionals, people who want to move into HR. Stay tuned. Thanks so much.